Okay.
Alright, are you watching my stream now?
No, I'm like going over 3,000 tabs to get to your screen.
Alright, well
Hold on.
this is a tutorial on how to do a cool fancy Twitch chat box. Look, I'll even bring it up here. You can see my whole screen, right? So if you go to twitch.tv.juice, and then you click on oh, I'm actually
Hold on.
live, see? No, you click on live
OBS doesn't.
and watch
Oh.
now.
Is this? This is
So-
weird. It's like a bug.
No, it's not.
OBS can't get smaller.
No. Huh?
This is weird.
You can't get
I
smaller?
can't do side by side screen. OBS
Yeah,
doesn't
probably
go smaller.
can't. It's not. It's open source. It's not. Alright, anyway, this is a tutorial on how to get the chat overlay. So
Yeah, but I can't. How do I see your screen? The camera is like at an angle.
oh, I'll do that. Look, I'll just do this. Show display. See? Now you can see my whole
Okay.
screen. Right?
Voila. Okay, I can see screen.
Alright, now this is a bit
with the
confusing because my screen is showing my screen, but my screen is showing my screen. So my screen showing my screen, showing my screen, like two
Is there a way
mirrors.
to-
So this
what
is
am I
actually my
looking at?
screen. So alright, now this is OBS. This is my web browser, which is also showing my screen, So anyway, okay, it's
You
kind of
minimize the
confusing.
web browser.
Now
You don't need- oh, okay.
I'm live right now, so this is like the live view. So you'll get it in a minute. The chat, like, this is me live. Usually I'm playing StarCraft. It probably makes more sense if I go like this, right? Now I'll be playing StarCraft, and then you can chat to me. You can go, hey, your micro sucks, and also your macro also sucks. You silver.
Okay, all right. We got the idea. Okay.
Oh, now
we
see
get to
how it's coming up on my screen here. That's what you want, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna minimize this because it gets too damn confusing. And now we're just looking at OBS. I'm gonna change it to OBS to show my screen. Ignore the screen and the screen and the screen and the screen. What you need to do, I'll set up here because my screen in a screen also has the overlay. So you need to download this software called it's called Twitch overlay, currently version 0.92. Now you already got that, right?
Yep.
Now this one you can show and hide the border, so you can move it around wherever you want it on your screen.
Yep.
But in order for it to display on, so other people can see it on the feed, you go into the sources and you click new source. All right, so you'll see this window.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then you go into window capture. See that window capture?
Yep.
Now in window capture, you're going to create a new one. I've already got it existing, but we'll just call it fancy Twitch chat window.
I'm just gonna call it Twitch chat overlay.
Nice,
Okay, hold on,
yeah.
let me
Or
put
you can
it
call it
same way.
overlay.
Window capture. You said right?
Yeah, overlay. So
Twitch chat overlay.
okay, so did you get that? So you go to
Yep.
the plus, and then you go
Hold
to
on. Overlay. Yep.
okay, you
Twitch
see it,
chat overlay.
and then you create a new one, and you give it a name. So you call it whatever you like. Call it Twitch
Yep.
overlay or whatever. So I call it fancy Twitch chat overlay.
Oh, then I
And-
select the Twitch chat overlay.
And then you go, okay, now let's do it on so people can see. So you click OK, and then you go, oh, what do I want to overlay? I want to overlay my
Yep.
notepad. Oh, everyone can see my notepad, which could be cool if you're doing notes. Or you can overlay Explorer, or you can overlay Discord, or you can overlay, what do we have here? Twitch chat overlay. Okay, now, the capture method actually does matter here because sometimes you can't see it. Like if I do automatic, it doesn't actually detect it. I actually need to go to Windows 10 to see it. So if you don't
Why
see
do you
it,
have a Windows 7?
huh? I don't know, some weird thing.
Oh, I got that too. Blit, Windows 7, Windows, yeah, anyway, automatic,
Yeah.
who cares?
So
Alright.
now, you probably don't need to capture the cursor over it. I don't know what client area is. Maybe force SDR if you're doing HDR, but it doesn't really matter. You can play with that later.
That's because
Now-
you have HDR.
Yeah.
I don't have
Now,
that.
window match priority is kind of important because
Oh, I already clicked on it.
now otherwise find
Close.
window of the same executable, because if it can't, if for some reason that changes the name, like if you load it and for some reason it's called Twitch overlay chat wfp.exe1 or it loads in a different executable. If you do that one, it'll kind of try to find what it is if it can't find the original title, the window title, you know. So I found sometimes that stops weird things happening. So I would suggest do that, match title, otherwise find window of same executable. It would try to find something similar or something like that to play. They would do okay.
So I'm not sure how important that is. I just left that.
Yeah, well, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you can go back and play with it. And now I actually have 2 of them running, because I actually have.
Let's have a look.
Why don't? Oh no, I only got one.
You put it at the top, right? Yeah, you have it at the top, so that's the topmost window.
Yeah. Now with StarCraft, you kind of want to bring it down a bit. So the red box lets you adjust the size and
Hold on,
adjust.
have you got 2? Or was one of them mine? Yeah, how come you've got a yellow end of? Oh, because that's a new one.
Yeah.
You've made an extra one.
Yeah. I don't know because I don't have the other source here.
No, you made an extra one for the tutorial. That's right.
Something like that, yeah. So okay, here's you got to resize, and if you do replays, it gets in your way. So I would bring it down to like about there, right? Just look at the red box. Bring it down to about there because you want to show the information here. If you want to do income tabs or units built on the replay, so it doesn't block you. Now that's red. Another few things you can do, go into your taskbar, see where my mouse is, this up thing, and then hide show border. Now, because of Windows security, it's always going to have an annoying yellow box around your screen because Windows is going, hey, something's not right here. Something is showing the screen and capturing all your passwords and all your...
That stays yellow for you.
Yeah.
That doesn't... I don't have that.
Oh, well, later it might. Later it might. On my screen, it stays yellow, but on the feed, it doesn't. But I did a search, and it's some security thing, so people don't spy on whatever you're watching. If you're watching certain human nature videos or whatever you're into, mukbang videos.
I don't have that.
Anyway, I don't know. It doesn't always work. Now, one more fancy thing you can do is you can right-click into here and do transform, edit transform. See that? Transform, edit transform. And you can crop out the top and bottom because sometimes it might say, depending on what client you're using, let's say you're not using this one, it might say, welcome to chat window on the top. And you can just crop that out with the, crop just brings down. Yeah, you don't want to have that. So you can do that there. That's kind of fancy.
How did you even discover this? This is
let's play around with it. Yeah, just play around with it. And now I'm sharing it to the whole internet. This is why it takes me so...
This is why you're texting him down. You're playing around with the wrong things.
This is why it takes me so long to load things, because I got to check this is displayed properly and this is on.
You have to go to your advanced settings to see if there's any advanced setting you haven't played with.
Yeah. Okay, so that's yeah, and you can even do blending modes. Like, here's another thing you can do. Put it onto screen, and if you have a black, if the screen is actually black, like this one does it properly because it's a proper overlay. But you could put something like, let's say I did Notepad, which is white. I'll do it now quickly because I have that open. So if I go into, let's add another one called Window Capture. Let's add my Notepad. So I've got to create a new one. Let's call it Notepad. Now I actually have my Notepad open, which actually shows me all the checklists I do. So it's got I copy paste the things I want to GLHF, and I've got you see I've got it doing all the things I need to do before I start. Right, so okay, we'll do that. Now my Notepad is open. All right, that's cool. Let's go through it and do the things I talked about. So let's transform, edit transform. See this bar at the bottom? It's kind of ugly. We don't need that. So we're going to crop that out from the bottom. So I'll just go like that. See this green dotted line? That's creeping up and hiding it. And look, I've got this ugly scroll bar on the right side. I can go like, let's creep that in a bit. Let's get rid of that. Okay, cool. That's looking nice. Now, it's this whole ugly white thing, which is very distracting. So I can change the blend mode, and I can set it to, let's play with multiply. So if it's multiply, everything that's white won't show up, but everything that's black will. It's kind of multiplies the colors on top. So, you know, a color plus white is nothing, but a color plus black shows up as black. So now you can kind of hide it. There's other blend modes that you can play with. So if it's black on white, it looks like that. Blend mode, we can do subtract, kind of looks like that. So the black, all the white bits, you know, it's kind of ugly, but you can make it work if you find the right one.
I don't understand that one.
So I can, okay. But anyway,
Probably lighter, not darker. No, that looks.
So that none of these look good. Another thing you can do is you can see filters. I can add a filter here.
Oh yeah.
And then see the effect filters. I've got all these filters. I'm just going to do one called color correction, which is actually pretty cool. Let's call it color correction 1 or V1 will do. And then look, I can change the opacity to make it semi-transparent.
Oh
or
my goodness.
I can make a color multiply and I say, oh, I want it to look like green. That's kind of StarCrafty.
Whoa, I love it.
Or I can make it kind of purple, and then I can have my notes up here. While you know, I can make it into a little box, and it just says, like my priorities. I could say, remember to build overlords, creep spread, and keep doing upgrades.
This is crazy.
So you can add these corrections, like you can make it darker, you can make it brighter, change the opacity. It's fun to play with. So that's kind of some advanced stuff.
You really
it's not hard to do.
searched into it.
Well, I do a lot of.
Okay, I'm gonna start my stream.
Photoshop. So then,
can you type a message to me, please? And I'll see.
Yeah. Last thing, I better mention these. A quick way to do it is right-click and then set a color, because it's not something you always want on. So you might have it as yellow, and notice it comes up as yellow here. Then I know that okay, maybe I want to turn it off. The eye is off. And this lock button makes it so you don't accidentally resize it. See, I can accidentally resize it, but locking it makes it so I can't resize it. So that's it. That's the tutorial. Pretty cool, huh? And I'm going to save this as a separate file. So if you ever need to rewatch it, or if you want to learn how to do fancy OBS overlays when you're playing StarCraft or streaming or doing anything else, that's how to do it. All right, let's do your testing thing, Justin.